Be obsessed with trying to make yourself the best version of yourself. Be obsessed with saying no. Be obsessed with showing up on a regular basis. Be obsessed with the consistency and the journey, and do not quit no matter who says what, no matter what gets in the way, and no matter what, you always just keep pushing forward. I want to give you some of the key lessons that I've learned from playing soccer professionally. So I played soccer for 7 years, and over the course of that time, I learned a lot of different characteristics and traits that I have now actually gotten as a person that I can apply into my everyday life. Most of the time, I realize now most people don't even have these traits. Most of the time, people actually struggle not realizing that they're still playing a game. The game that you're playing is the game of life, and how you can actually apply more so an athlete mindset into your everyday life is pretty damn incredible. Now, over the course of 20 years, I played soccer from when I was only 8 years old all the way. Now, 7 years I played professionally. And in order to play professionally, you need to have different elements. You can't just have the skill. You can't just have the talent. It has to go beyond that. And what I quickly learned is that there is a massive divider. The division is basically there are people out there that want to make it, and there are people out there that actually make it. And the difference is truly in the person that wants it more. Because a lot of the time people will come up with excuses, right? Isn't that what we're filled with? We're filled with a world full of excuses. We're filled with people that want to bullshit their way through and then just talk themselves in circles and tell themselves they can, but they won't. And then they try to do it, but then they don't. Like, all of these components start to play a role. So I will tell you right now that when I quickly learned how to apply a more dedicated, more disciplined, a mindset that was never settling, that was really what took me to the next level. And I remember very clearly when I would go out and I would play in the games, many times people in the crowd, they would say a bunch of shit. They would say a lot of things to try and, get into the athlete's mind. Because what happens when you get into the athlete's mind? Well, they start to suffer. Their game starts to go out. The things that they're typically good at, they no longer are good at. Isn't that what happens, right? If you're trying to do something and someone has a negative opinion about it or perspective about it, and they share it with you, and then all of a sudden you start doubting yourself. Isn't that how it is? Anytime you get negative feedback, or if you're getting someone talking a bunch of shit at you, don't you almost always go, well, am I good enough? Well, am I doing this right? And then you start to doubt yourself. The problem with that is that you then let something else, something external, dictate you. It dictates your level of performance, even though you might actually believe in yourself, even though you actually believe that you are good and that you are better and that you are trying. But just all it takes is just a couple of those opinions, or it takes a couple of those snarky comments that people just throw at you, and it instantly can impact how you perform. So in one particular scenario, I remember that I was right as I was about to take a corner kick, and obviously everyone knows that this is an opportunity. There are specific opportunities in any game, and any good coach, any good player knows that there's specific windows, right? In the first couple of minutes of the game, that is the best time to score. In the last couple of minutes before halftime, the first couple of minutes after halftime, and the last couple of minutes of the game. Those are the most ideal times where you have a higher chance of scoring. Now, there's a few others as well. Obviously, when you have like a free kick, or you have a corner kick or a penalty kick, you've received a foul. All of these create opportunities. So in this specific scenario, I was going up to take a corner kick, and we were in the last kind of minutes of the game, and I was quite good at corner kicks. And the fence that was lining the field, it was a little closer to the crowd than what it typically is, and I didn't love that, because it then meant that I was within feet of people that were going for the other team. And what you quickly notice, though, is as soon as you grab the ball and you place it and you step back and you're looking for, that optimal striker to actually get it on their head to score a goal, it's pretty quick for people to start talking right in your ear within feet. And we're talking the most nastiest comments, right? You will hear people say the worst stuff at you, not caring that you are a human being, not caring how much this could affect you, but they didn't care. They just wanted you to suck. They basically want you to shunt the kick. They want you to kick the floor and not the ball. and they're hoping that you're going to also fall over, probably land on your butt, and they're going to laugh at you. Honestly, that is exactly how people want you to fail. So in this scenario, I remember very clearly stepping back, looking for my player, listening into my ears all of this horrible shit. And I'm talking like the worst, right? From all the way from me as a player to me as a person, to be honest with you. They would say everything and anything they could. Then what you have to do is you have to put on blockers, right? So you have to go, these people are in the crowd for a reason. They're in the crowd because being in the crowd is easy. It's also cheap. It's also the place that most average people spend their lives. They spend their lives in the crowd, not doing anything other than talking a bunch of shit. So you create these blockers and you start to understand that you have the power to either listen and apply, or you can not listen and then continue your path. And that's really what I learned over the course of time. Don't get me wrong, I definitely failed. There was times where I truly did listen to the crowds, especially if they're booing you, especially if they're saying a bunch of shit and you're right there and you're in close proximity. It doesn't feel good. Like, I'll tell you right now, it doesn't feel good. But what makes you a better player is when you take what they have to say and you don't apply it to your game. Isn't that the same as whatever it is that you're going through? Right? You take someone's criticism, to someone's negative comments, someone's negativity in general, and you don't apply it to your actions. You don't apply it to your self-worth. You continue to do the things that you're trying to do. And that's honestly where the difference lies. I know it sounds like, well, this happens to me all the time. And, why can't they just stop? Why can't they just, stop talking a bunch of shit? Well, guess what? You're not in control of them. You can't control how someone speaks to you. You can't control how someone's going to talk to you. The biggest thing that is in your control is how do you respond to it? And truly asking yourself, where can I control myself? How can I regulate myself? What do I need to kind of block out here? When you do this, you actually become stronger. You become more powerful. Because I can tell you right now, when I didn't listen to them and I took it and I still landed it where I wanted it to go, and we still did well, and we create an opportunity with or without a score, like, I didn't listen. And that frustrates people. And I'm not doing it to frustrate people. I'm doing it because I know my worth. And when you know your worth, you will actually get so much further in life. Success is just on the other side of your doubt. It's on the other side of your shame, on your guilt, on your uncertainty. Success lies when you are courageous enough to actually take the actions, make the moves, and believe in yourself along the way. That's where success lies. But many people think that it's something magical and you have to be somebody to become somebody. You don't. You truly have to create the value in yourself. As you create more value in you, you provide more value out there. And that's what I did. And I learned over the course of time when I had mindset coaches. I had psychology, I had really great coaches that tapped into the areas that I was not good at, and when we talk about mindset, we're always talking about a place of, well, what are you lacking? Or what are your weaknesses? Where are you struggling? Then once you can identify those, what's really cool about this? You can identify your weaknesses and turn them into strengths. So you become more operational from an abundance mindset, because everybody operates at either a mindset of lack, or a mindset of abundance. Like, what do I have? How well am I going? What am I striving for? What have I achieved? Right? What have I got? Versus, I'm not there yet. I'll never have it. It's never happened to me before. It will never happen, right? It's very easy to become into that victim mentality, that cycle that constantly tells you you are not enough. But I can tell you right now, you're wrong. And I can tell you right now that most people out there, the ones that are going to tell you that you're not enough, don't believe they're enough either. So you have to start to create your own worth. And you have to kind of pick up the pen and write the story that you want to write on yourself. If you were to write a book on yourself, what would that story be? From day one, you came into this world, and you came into this world just like anyone else, and you're going to leave this world just like anyone else. But what is in between? What is the pages writing? Because it's very easy for us to fall into this very automatic, very robotic, and, on the rat race. The rat race isn't fun for anybody, and it's not fun for you. And this is why when I learned how to really kind of like hone in on my athlete mindset, I didn't realize I was building one. I just thought I was playing a game. That's truly how I envisioned my life. I thought, you know what? All I'm doing here is I'm playing a game. And the game is the sport. And all I have to do is make sure I can do my job, do it well, work within a team and do that well, take ownership, take leadership, do all these things. But then once I get off, that's it. I didn't realize how much more I could actually apply that mentality, those level of characteristics, and apply them now later, right? Especially into business. Business becomes so much easier when you take everything that you've learned prior where you failed and then you apply it into now to become more successful. And I'll tell you right now, most people are just not consistent. Like they will jump around, bounce around, they'll try all these different things. Ultimately, the greatest path to success is consistency. But no one wants to do the consistent work because it is uncomfortable, because it requires them to not dive into temptation or desires or the quick fixes. Consistency is truly the person that will do it over the course of months, years, decades. That's what it is. Look at the greats of the greats. Were all very, very consistent people. Did they do anything remarkably crazy? No. They were just ridiculously consistent. That's what they were. And a lot of the time people don't want that because they're impatient, right? They're full of pride. Their ego gets in the way. And I want you to understand that you can be in control. You can be in control of what you're trying to do. You can be in control of the path that you're trying to create and walk and actually take. And I want to encourage you to take this message and apply it, that you can build an athlete mindset. What does that look like? Well, build a resilience. When shit gets hard, stay in the game, right? If you feel like you're losing, go another round. If you feel like you're not good enough, try a little harder, right? And then what you want to do is you want to build strength, physical strength, mental strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength. Build all of these strengths. When you build these strengths, you will become a better version of yourself and you'll be able to apply it in different areas, whether it's relationship, finances, family, fitness, whatever. You'll be able to apply all of this into different areas of your life. So create that athlete mindset where it's driven, it's disciplined, it's consistent. Create that. And you can do this. And all it takes is dedication. Like be so damn dedicated to the process. Be obsessed with trying to make yourself the best version of yourself. Be obsessed with saying no. Be obsessed with showing up on a regular basis. Be obsessed with the consistency and the journey. And do not quit no matter who says what, no matter what gets in the way, and no matter what, you always just keep pushing forward. And I hope this helps you guys because you need to do this. There are not enough people out there that are truly applying messages like this into their everyday. Right? If I was to meet you today and I was to meet you in 365 days, you better be a damn different person, right? If you are going to take this message and in 365 days, you can truly say, I have been consistent. Yes, I've slipped here and there, but I'll tell you right now, 80, 90% of the time, I have been so damn consistent. That is a consistent person, right? It is the person that is showing up on a regular basis. This is the reason why people believe me to be the most reliable, dependable coach that's out there, because I will show up. I will not miss. The reason why you get these messages from me, the reason why I show up on your feed or anywhere that you're listening to this is because I'm so damn consistent. I am sitting here on times where I don't want to actually share a message, on times where I don't have anything really to say. But you know what? I'm going to fucking say something anyway. I'm going to try and give you something that can help you get better, because it makes me better knowing that I showed up today, that I did everything in my power to become a better coach, a better human, and a better server of the world, because that's ultimately what we all are. So I hope that you can take this and you can apply this into your day, into your week, into your month, and into your goals. So just remember, guys, everything you want is on the other side of fear. So make a move, take action, because you're one decision away from a completely different life.